do have a mix of sun and clouds with the chance for a stray shower later today.
This report is brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council. Your garbage can be more than just garbage. Give it another life. Recycle. Learn more at iwanttoberecycled.org. A public service message brought to you by Keep America Beautiful and the Ad Council.
iHeartRadio is about to get even better. No skip limits, unlimited access to millions of songs, offline listening, replay and save songs directly from the radio. All coming very soon. Radio and unlimited music on demand, all in one app. Get ready to take control of how you listen. iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio is your home for the holidays. Enjoy commercial-free Christmas favorites on iHeart Christmas. And get jolly with North Pole Radio, hosted by Santa Claus. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. iHeartRadio.
Hey, it's Brian Mudd. 19 years and counting. That's how long I've been working for iHeartMedia. And why? Because the opportunity here is better than anywhere else. In fact, years ago, I was talking to Sean Hannity about this, and there are other opportunities, other companies. And I asked him, and he said, don't ever leave iHeartMedia because the grass is not greener elsewhere. And I took his advice. Turned out to be great career advice. Speaking of which, we are looking for superstars on our sales team right here at iHeartMedia. Unlimited income, the autonomy to get the job done. So if you've had sales experience and success, if you're driven, and if you're ready for a real career, it's right here at iHeartMedia. Our local management will be conducting interviews for qualified candidates. So if you're ready for this, bring your A game and send your resume today to mynewcareer@iheartmedia.com. That's mynewcareer@iheartmedia.com.
What do you get when you take two media guys from Brooklyn and turn them loose in a broadcast studio? Well, you get the Two Guys from Brooklyn show. And to really get it, you have to tune in every Monday through Friday from noon till 1 p.m. right here on 1230 WBZT and WBZT.com. And it makes you glad you have a radio, doesn't it?
I'm Trainer Bob Goodall, and 1230 WBZT is going to the dogs. And that's the good news. My new show, South Florida Dog Talk, is finally here. Every Friday at 1 p.m. Anything and everything about man's best friend. South Florida Dog Talk. Sit and listen.
This holiday, the perfect gift for fans of a rough, tough sport. It's something really snuggly.
Get your favorite fan even more wrapped up in their favorite team with Denali Microplush College and NFL blankets from the Northwest Company and sold at EliteTeam.com. These super soft blankets are machine washable and 100% made in the USA. Elite Team, the official blanket of pure fandemonium. For a limited time, go to EliteTeam.com and save 25% with promo code iHeart.
Florida State and Miami Pro football fans, wrap yourself up in your favorite team blanket at EliteTeam.com.
1230 WBZT. The thoughts and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and don't necessarily reflect those of the station or iHeartMedia.
Hi, it's Leah, here to tell you about Dr. Anthony Pannozzo. He's a pain specialist located in southern Palm Beach County, so if you are somebody that you know is suffering in pain, Dr. Pannozzo is the one you guys need to call. And make that call today because living in pain is no way to go through life. Dr. Pannozzo has been in practice now for more than 49 years. He's treated more than 73,000 patients for pain. He's an expert when it comes to diagnosing the pain, and he has had huge turnarounds. In fact, people living with scoliosis, he has had nearly a 100% turnaround. Lumbar pain as well. If you've got lower back pain, if you're suffering with migraines or flat feet pain, maybe pain in your elbows, your neck, your shoulders, Dr. Pannozzo can help you. And the greatest thing is he can help you without drugs, without surgery, and without having to go through weeks and months of rehabilitation. Give him a call today. Set up an appointment. It's 561-381-5800. Tune into his show Sundays, 11 to noon.
And now, here's this week's edition of the Dr. Pannozzo Sports and Medicine Hour.
Good morning, everybody. We have an exciting show today.
Good morning.
I didn't get you yet.
Oh.
I mean, you're the star. I have to build it up. We got Manx over here. We got Freddy over there. We got Doc over there. We got Carol over there. We got Dave over here. So here's what I'm saying, guys. Have a nice day. I'm leaving. What a beautiful day in South Florida, right, Doc?
Oh, it's humid. What are you talking about?
The sun is shining. People will pay a fortune here to come to this. Am I right, Dave?
You're always right.
I love this guy. Okay, we're replacing Doc with this and Freddie and
Is my camera on?
Yes, Doc. Everyone can see you beautifully.
There's no red light on it.
You're on.
It doesn't need a red light, Doc.
Oh.
Okay. The only red lights you see
I want to make sure Dave is on.
The only red lights you see, Doc, are in those prostitution houses down in Denmark. No, where is that?
Amsterdam.
Oh, hey, my boy's been there. We have Doc, first of all, I want to say something to you that I want everyone to understand as I speak this very slowly. As you heard Dr. Pannozzo talk about scoliosis, the Mayo Clinic, where I have that, that's the reason I was late, I was writing all this down, the Mayo Clinic says basically everything you said. And you said it before they said it.
How could they know? They don't do that kind of work.
That's it, which is amazing. The only thing that got me, and then I read, it said women get scoliosis more than men. Is that true? I mean,
well, their tissues are not as strong as the male.
Right.
The ligaments.
Is that and then here's something that
not only that, but they want to be in sports, which they're not really built for it.
Right.
Remember, the men are built for sports. They're built for hunting and
hunting and gathering, Doc.
Hunting and gathering, and it doesn't change.
Can we those dinosaurs, buddy?
Still the same, and the females are used to bearing children and cooking and nurturing. That's basically our human nature.
Well, Jewish women don't nurture. I mean, the other stuff they do, but the nurturing part, that's all God.
We got to teach them a little bit.
and here's something
anyway, that's the reason.
Now, here's something else they said, which I know, even they, as it was written down, they must have said, well, I screwed that up. They said, scoliosis can run in the family.
No, wrong.
It is wrong. He says, but most people that have scoliosis, their family members didn't have it. So I'm reading this from a prestigious hospital.
There are families that are heavy in sports.
Right.
And remember, the girls try to keep up with the boys, and they can't do it.
And according to that famous study, it says they do not know how you get scoliosis.
I told you I'm ahead of them.
I'm reading right here.
We're ahead of everybody.
It comes off the internet, so I mean, it comes off from a prestige.
Concussion is a wonderful thing. You got questions on it coming up.
Well, let's get to us.
They're going to catch up to me one of these days.
No.
Now, everybody listening to this program, you're getting the latest musculoskeletal information. If you don't use it, I don't know what to tell you. It's free, but it's real. This is real stuff.
Well, here's what I'm going to tell everyone out there. You can come to see Dr. Pannozzo first.
Or later.
But you know what? You're going to come to later. You know why? Because you have scar tissue.
Scar tissue is always a problem. Yes.
Now, we have a patient here from Dr. Pannozzo's, which I'd like to talk to him about, how he met Dr. Pannozzo, what caused his name is Dave. We don't give his last name because he's wanted by the police, so we're just going to say Dave. Only kidding, folks.
I'm happy to say my full name.
Yes.
I'll state my full name.
We like to have fun here, Dave. We don't want.
I'm all about that too.
Good. Tell us how you met Dr. Pannozzo and what happened.
My name, for the record, is David Dweck, and I've lived in South Florida for a long time. And one of my passions is playing full court basketball, which I play every Sunday, including today.
What's your fee for this?
No fee. I owe you.
That's a tough game.
You didn't even know he was coming in, Doc.
No, I didn't.
This is a total surprise because when I spoke with Freddy, I just said, we just started talking and your name came up and I said, I'm a huge fan.
Oh, that's great.
And for years. And I will tell you that twice in my life I was told that I had to have surgery. And twice in my life I looked at the doctor and said, I am not having surgery.
Smart.
So to give you the Reader's Digest version, Christmas Day, 7-8 years ago, I'm playing full court basketball and I hurt my knee, and like a jerk I continued to play. Then I got helped off the court.
Wow.
By fellow teammates. Went to the orthopedist the next day. He's a respected orthopedist, and he said, you tore your meniscus, you have to have surgery.
Now let me stop you there. Is that can you tear a meniscus?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
So I said, okay, let me have my film. And Dr. Pannozzo has referred to me some time ago, but I did not have a need for him. But, it's always good to have that number in your cell phone Rolodex.
561-381-5800.
I should know it by heart.
I do.
I can tell.
Write it down anymore.
So that next day, which was just a few days after the injury, I called him and he said, come on in. He looked at me. He moved my knee around. He poked and prodded. And he said, well, David, you have a hip problem. Now, at this point, I looked at him like he was Meshuggah-nuts. And I said, really? I said, well, prove it. So he pokes me on my right side. It was my left knee, and I'm fine. He pokes me on my left hip, and I keel over.
Yeah.
Now he's got my attention. I said, okay, Doc, what do we have to do? He goes, I'm going to treat you, and I'll never forget this. and you may have to come back 2 or 3 more times, at least 2 times. And it was 2 times. And 6 weeks later, so 6 weeks from my injury, I was back on the basketball court. 6, 7, 8 years later, never re-injured the knee. And I play with some younger guys,
and they play rough. Those guys on.
I try not to, we have a nice game of core guys, same guys I play with 15 years, and we don't get too physical. But with the trash talking and occasional hard pick, you could hurt yourself.
Yeah.
You can roll an ankle, whatever it is, and then I've had some minor issues since then on other parts of the body. There's another story with my son. We walked in, and my son's a student. He came in with an arm brace, and Doc says, "Take that off, and don't wear that anymore."
You just like those things.
And he moves my son's arm and, treats him. And my son left the next day to New York City where he lives, and I call him, "Evan, how's your arm?" "Fine." "How's your wrist?" "Fine." "No problem." Done. Saw him one time. One of the better stories. Can I tell the story?
No, please. This is interesting because I just met you for the first time.
Right. Well, so I'm in my office and a client comes over. It's 10 o'clock in the morning and he's hunched over. This client is also a personal friend of mine, and he's Israeli. He goes, "David, my back is locked up." I said, "I have just the person for you." I called Doc, and he says, "Send him over." I said, "We'll talk later. Get in your car. If Doc's going to see you now, you need to go." An hour, that's at 11 o'clock Doc sees, if you remember my friend Yoel and his wife, Alexia. So he calls me up, he goes, "David, this guy's miracle." So I said, "I told you."
My people.
I said, "It's mishpacha. What can I tell you? Oh, it's unbelievable." So
this guy's good, right, Carol?
And then,
I like him.
And then, well, it gets better.
No, keep going.
Yoel's wife is a Zumba teacher and in very good shape.
Wow.
And if she can't teach Zumba, she can't make money, and she's not happy. She's
that's
very
really
happy teaching Zumba. He treated her too. So he treated my friend and his wife. And I've sent Doc, many people over the years, and it's a pleasure when somebody who is so kind and so caring and gets the job done. So thanks, Doc.
Well,
thank you.
David, do you mind? David?
Either way, just call me.
David, I had a rep who worked for Comcast, I'm allowed to say that, and he's this big, strapping guy, and an impeccable dresser. So we're going out to lunch, and his tie is undone. I said, "Raphael, this is a Jew." He said, "My hand and my shoulder are killing me. I can't even tie my tie." I said, "That's it. Let's go. This is where we're going. I spent a lot of money on Comcast. You're going to give me a discount if I take you to see Dr. P." Took him in, and he was like afraid of the needles. I'm talking about a guy that could take his hand and crush my head.
Right.
Am I right?
Right.
Impeccable dresser, right?
Absolutely. A lot of expensive clothes.
Oh, yeah. 2 shots, and he says, "Oh." And he's moving his arm like this, calls me up the next day and says, "Les, I don't know what the heck he gave me. I was out playing basketball with the kid." I said, "You're kidding." He said, "No, this guy's a freaking miracle worker." I call him now. He's not my rep anymore, periodically. He said, "I tell everybody to go to this guy. Amazing. I brought in Fred. I'm a patient too. I woke up with a groin that was so freaking bad. He asked me, 'How'd you get it?' He must have talked to me for a half hour until I said, 'Well, I was up in Pittsburgh, took a package out.'" He said, "That's what it is. Takes that little thumb. We're going to get that thumb insured by Lloyd's of London." Okay? Any other finger he could break. He can't break the thumb, right? He hit the area. I jumped. Gave me 2 shots. One, I can't remember. One was in the leg, and the other was in the groin injury. I like to lift weights. I know it doesn't look it, but as you get older, you got to do that. I was doing squats the next day.
Ironically,
Amazing.
my knees have felt. I still have some achiness after.
You play at hardcourt, right?
I play outdoors, not on the hardwood, so it's tough.
Outdoors is even worse.
It is tough. You're on the concrete or the asphalt, and I will tell you that I think my knees are in better shape thanks to Dr. Pannozzo.
That's nice to hear.
And ironically, he would never remember this, but I remember I was in the waiting room with my son that day, and a woman and her husband, and they were elderly, and she was crying on the way out because she said, "I've never felt this good. I can't believe." And she was very emotional, and as she walked out, I said, "He's the best," and she said, "He's a miracle worker."
If I tell you how many people I brought in with migraines and vertigos, and one of the people is young in mid-40s who works for a living as a salesperson. You always got to be in the car. And how many times she has told me she had to pull over to the side. Brought her, and she was so skeptical about doing this because she went through the Botox. She went through every drug you could think of. As I'm walking her in, there's a lady with an injury, not a migraine, who's about 65, 70, telling her, "Darling, don't worry about a thing. This man will get rid of your migraines." He gave me a couple of shots. I haven't had a migraine in months. She hasn't had one in 2 years. So when we say all this, a lot of people don't believe it. Freddy's sitting right here, who had unbelievable, and he lifts a lot of weight every day. He really does with the cameras. Tell him what happened with you. You're next, so Blondie, you're next.
He takes me to meet Dr. Pannozzo.
Because of what? Go ahead.
For the first time. This is the very first time I ever met this guy.
That's almost 2 years ago.
Yeah. And he says, "I want you to let him work on you." So I said, "Why don't you let him work on you?" He goes, No. It got to be you. I said, "It's got to be me." I said, "What the hell? Let's go, Doc." And I had a pain, and he took away the pain. But it took a few minutes. So we went to lunch, and we were at the Polo Grounds.
Right. We were crossing. No, we were at that pizza place.
New York City Pizza.
Yes, that's it.
And I stopped traffic. 4 lanes. It was like a...
and he's jumping around.
And I'm jumping around and says, "I can feel my feet again." He goes, "Really?" And then the horn and people, "Hey, you crazy man." I said, "Shut up." I'm screaming at people, "Shut up."
A true story, because I was there. I mean, no one would believe this. I was there.
And then I went back and I got some more work. There's still more work I have to do, but he gave me my career back.
Well, Freddie, that's so interesting because it's amazing when you're pain-free, then your life changes.
Yes.
I am fortunate and blessed and lucky and all those adjectives to live pain-free.
It's nothing like it.
And it helps you in your overall aspect of life, both on a personal and professional level. Yes, and
and you could work,
but you can live.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the great things about real estate, why I love it, is because you don't just have, you don't just make a living. You have a lifestyle, and part of that lifestyle is living pain-free. If you have pain, you cannot live your life.
No.
I mean, it's really as simple as picking up the phone and calling Doc and then going to see him.
561-381-5800. This is a gentleman I just met for the first time, and it's amazing because I was in his office, and there was a beautician. Doc, this is your show. You don't have to talk.
You're picking up chicks in his office?
Yes, some of those. Hey, one woman invited me to go to the casino. I was so excited. She said, "I've never met a guy as young as you." She's 85, out of shots.
Hey, Dave.
So you're into cougars, huh?
Pain-free will create all sorts of relationships.
Yes. Doc, anytime you want to step in, okay, it's your show. But right now, people who don't think that what we did, that what you do is real, these are real people.
Yeah, now Les is picking up cougars.
Hey, Doc, we got a new reality show in your office.
Les and the Cougar.
Pain-free makes relationships.
Yes.
Or Doc and the Cougars.
Doc and the Cougars, I like that. Doc, anything you want to say about this?
You didn't think you were going to have this much fun, did you, Doc?
No.
I traveled a long way to sing your praises.
Where are you traveling from, by the way?
Boca.
Oh, that's not too far.
Not bad.
10 miles, yeah, but it's good. I mean, to give up a
It's better than good.
Well, let me tell you
I'll
something.
give it up for Doc. He gave me life.
To give up look, I traveled all the way from Fort Lauderdale to do the show with him, and let me tell you, it's a mitzvah.
It is.
Because I've seen these people. I mean, I know it sounds like I'm.
No,
like
Doc is a mitzvah man.
Yeah,
he really is, without a doubt.
Mitzvah means great, Doc.
It means good deed, technically.
Good deed.
Come on, you're a yid.
Yes,
get your facts right. Even he knew that.
I knew that.
That's right.
My wife used to be a sheep.
It's a shanda.
No, that's a shanda. Well, wait.
Shik's a shanda. What's the difference, right?
I watched it when I first. Here's the story. I met him to talk to him about.
Glad you guys are having such good time.
We're having a good time.
Hey, you want to get a word in edgewise, Doc?
Doc, keep paying. Keep paying. We'll have this guy on every day. So, this guy, I'm telling you, I feel like I'm talking to Bruce Willis. Even the smile. Does he look like Bruce Willis?
He does.
little bit, yeah. It happens to be one of my favorite actors in the world.
He looks like my cousin Georgie. When I first met him at Starbucks.
Yeah, but Georgie's Puerto Rican.
I said, well.
Hey, take it easy, okay? Why are you talking so crazy, Les?
But this guy, when he walked up, I said, if he was shorter, he'll be Georgie. I said, it's spitting image. But he does look like Bruce Willis.
So now when you hear all this, Doc, I mean, it's got to make you feel good.
It does. And,
I mean, to see what this he took out. Dave took off a Sunday. I guess probably with your family on Sunday to do this. That shows how much people care about what you do, and it means a lot to us to know that people are getting better by you.
Yeah, well, we're having a good time doing it.
Well, you have to have a good time.
It's very intellectual, and we tried only to give you facts. If you're listening, you want to work on it. You want to listen to this and use it. You heard a fellow here with knees and whatever else he's got. I can't remember all the
playing basketball on concrete is tough on your legs and your whole body.
Knees, of course, we don't believe he should ever operate a knee.
I mean, why go in for an operation when there's no alternative?
I'm living proof of that.
You look like you're in great shape.
Well, thank you.
I got a question for David.
Go ahead.
You had this done how long ago, this procedure?
7-8 years ago at least.
And has it ever bothered you again?
No.
Ever? Wow. Nothing?
Now, occasionally, I must tell you, I will make a move.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And then, it can cause me a little pain, but nothing.
But one thing you knew is that move was a ligament.
Correct. Well, you also remember, he fixed my hip.
Yeah,
hips. It was a hip problem. Now, if he fixed my hip, then I should not have any more knee problems. Correct me if I'm wrong.
That's correct, yeah.
So,
unless you play basketball and you fall on it.
Well, that's a different story. But sometimes I bang against somebody else. You never know what a game could bring.
Sure.
But I'm not in a extremely physical game with 20-year-olds.
You're playing with guys that are 20 years old.
Well, some of the guys are young, but they know to respect and not to
No, I understand.
They're not going to hit a guy that's mid-50s type thing.
God bless you, man. You look pretty damn good.
Thank you.
So our approach is to teach you the anatomy, to tell you what went wrong with it. It is not the whole knee. The knee is made up of many parts. So if you understand which part is doing what to you, then you're not going to get panicked and run off and get something done. You know what I mean? So that's part of the education. So when you get when you get a little bit of pain after you've been playing, you actually know what it is, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that doesn't panic you.
We got a call from Perry. Wants to talk to the doc. Hi, Perry. You're on with Dr. Pannozzo.
Perry.
Hi. Good morning. Hi, doctor. How are you today?
I just lost a penny, Perry.
You lost a penny?
Yeah, because I bet you wouldn't call.
Oh, really?
Penny.
Why wouldn't I call?
Big time spender here.
Big macha.
Yeah, big macha, a penny. Hey, Perry, thanks for calling. What do you have to say to the doc?
Well, I have to agree with Dave 100%. That's a number you definitely want to keep on your phone. He is a miracle worker. Unfortunately, I saw him in the very beginning, and I didn't listen to it, what he had to say, and I was one of the unfortunates that went through a surgery. And now I'm dealing with scar tissue on my knee, and it's a bit of a problem, but the doc's been treating it, and it's been getting a lot better. And he's also treating for me my shoulder, which feels tremendously better than it did prior to seeing him. So... yeah, he's a great guy, and I was telling him a story the other day, and I don't know if he wants me to get into it or not.
That's okay. We're insensitive.
About not listening to him and going through the surgery, and then dealing with the cost aspect of it after the fact, which I had a partial knee replacement and wound up costing upwards in the area of $40,000 to $50,000, of which $7,000 of it I had to pay out of pocket.
Sure.
Oh.
And
we charge for that. We charge $160 for a knee treatment. Can you imagine?
I think a little too cheap, Doc.
I think so.
Wow.
How much?
$160.
Well, the long and the short.
I spent that at Starbucks.
I wound up having
go to dinner and spend it.
A dispute with the surgeon over the cost of what my part was, versus what the insurance company told me that I would owe them versus what they said that I owed them. And this went on probably for about 7 months.
Wow.
And finally got them to agree upon the amount of the money that the insurance company had.
You got to keep pushing those guys.
What's that?
You got to keep pushing the insurance company. They'll finally give up.
Right. Well, I did, and I finally got the doctor's office to agree to what the cost was. And then within 30 days of them agreeing, or me agreeing to it, they wound up and sent me out for collections.
Wow. Oh, man.
You know, it's just unbelievable. It's just a total money-making process. That's all they care about, where the doc cares about making you feel better. So, you know, I'm a firm believer in Dr. Pannozzo, and as well refer a tremendous amount of people. I saw somebody Wednesday that suffers from vertigo, and I told him, yeah, he's the man to go see for that as well.
True.
So,
I mean, folks, you heard here, if anybody else wants to call us up and dispute this, the number is 800-889-0267. If you're a surgeon, a chiropractor, and you want to get say that he's wrong, please, we let everybody in. We do not monitor any calls. It's 800-889-0267.
And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, it's Pannozzo.tv. Give us a call.
Okay, and they could also, someone told me they saw his reality show, and did a guy by the name of Joseph, I can't remember his last name, Diaz, coming to see you? He was having trouble with his knee.
I can't remember that now.
Well, let me just say this. I had a guy who I work out with the gym. He's actually older than me. And he's always walking. I say, why don't you go? Hey, last Southern guy, next Annapolis guy. I've had 2 knee surgeries, one in each knee, from the biggest guys in the biggest guys in the country in Denver. He went to see him. He now rides a bike. He now plays tennis, and he plays golf. And he said this guy was a miracle worker. He got rid of all the scar tissue. All the scar tissue. I see Doctor pulling out his little notebook here.
He's putting on his...
he's giving all his... come on, Doc.
So it looks like it's from Johns Hopkins.
All right, you got...
You got the wrong one.
Oh, Perry, I'm sorry. Perry, you still on?
Anyway.
Yeah, I just wanted to say he's a miracle worker. He's a great guy. He's a compassionate man.
Yes,
and
he is.
If you're suffering out there, you're not doing yourself a service by not seeing him. So thanks very much. I love you, and I'll probably see you this week.
Thank you, Perry. It's great. It's great when people call just to tell us, how.
All right, thanks, Perry.
Did you want to talk about something about Johns Hopkins?
Well, here's the thing. It's very hard to give you the facts on the radio when if you go to big institutions, you get another story. And we're fighting this all the time. And hospitals have PR systems. Public relations.
PR person. Those are your favorite people, aren't they?
And they advertise their surgeons because they have to use the facilities. It's very hard to fight with us. Now in Johns Hopkins, for instance, very prestigious, right?
Oh yeah.
The one I wanted to show you, I forgot. It's in the car, I think.
That was the.
Anyway, it says a big article on migraine, and they're using acupuncture with the stimulation and electrical stimulation, right?
Stimulation,
all right, so there are 2 modalities. And I'm reading, I was talking to Manx about it. I said, here's a big article like this, and they're influencing all the doctors in the country because they have money to spend, to do this.
And they have that name.
Neither one is a basis in fact. Neither one has a science behind it. The acupuncture has no science whatsoever, and putting electrical stuff on the needles to do that has no science at all. I studied all this stuff, but how do you fight with that information?
It's very hard.
Battle all the time.
They're being published because it's Johns Hopkins Hospital versus Dr. Anthony Pannozzo,
and you can't be published because if they're going to say, well, we don't know this guy from Delray. Who is this guy? We should write an article, and what we know is not what he's saying. So it's very hard to get published. So people ask me all the time, but those are the facts.
Well, what I say to people is the first thing you have to do is don't believe me. Go and sit in his office one day, and that's how I met him. Someone said, I have a great client for you might really like. I walked in his office, and I said, that day I couldn't walk in his office. I had to sit outside. And I finally walked in, and these people are talking. I said, tell me a little about... This was this guy with a cane. I said, how long have you been coming to this guy? And he said to me, almost a year. I said, oh, so in my mind I said, he still didn't fix the guy? I found out the guy came in his first time with that scooter. He said, I went down from the scooter to the walker to a cane from this man. I said, oh my God. He said, I don't see him anymore. He's cured. I mean, that makes you cry a little when you see something like this. I mean,
let me go back to this Johns Hopkins.
Go ahead.
The department is a physical medicine department. This is what upsets you so much. Me. There's no basis of what they did, and what they were doing it was for migraine. Now, none of that's going to work because migraine is a ligament. It's a joint. It's not subject to these kind of treatments. You can't treat it that way.
How come you know
it's
this?
It's just like Botox.
Yeah.
You can't treat a migraine with Botox or headache because it's a wrong tissue. It should be ligament, and Botox is for muscles.
Guess what? They stopped all the commercials about migraines now, Botox.
They did.
They're going back to, seriously. It seems that every time you talk about headaches, people don't understand.
Well, you ask me, how do I get this?
Yeah, I mean, people want to know.
It's just one fact, and you pile that on to another fact. Over the years, you see what works, what doesn't work. So what we're treating is always ligaments. Other people are treating muscles,
right,
which they lose. Others are doing weakness. PTs do weakness. That's a loser. So if you understand what the tissue is, then you have to think, well, what is the anatomy of this thing? Why is it there? And that's the kind of thinking you have to do. And then you try it out. Now, being an MD, I can do whatever I want in my office as long as the patient agrees to it. You tell them, hey, this may work and may not, so we could do something, and it works. So now you've proven.
You're the most honest doctor I have met in my life, and I'm 74 years old, and I seem to be going to more of them now. I just want something. I mean, to me, what you said, David, going back to the lady that does our endorsements, Leah, I brought her in. And the doc has a thing, no one can endorse him unless they have a problem. Mm-hmm. She came with, she was going the next day for ankle surgery. First thing he did, he took all the information, says, just walk back and forth. We walked back and forth. You know what it was? The back. Mm-hmm. And she was going for ankle surgery.
Hopefully she didn't have any surgery.
No, we started with Leah 3 years ago.
One treatment, I haven't seen her since.
Speaking of surgery, when I was 18, I dislocated my shoulder in New York City. And I'll never forget the orthopedist who said, you need to have surgery. And I said, I'm not. And I said to him, why do you say that? He goes, because you'll dislocate your shoulder again. He wanted to see me in 4 or 5 weeks. At that time, I was 18. Mm-hmm. I told my parents I'm not going to have surgery. I go back in, and he gives me a test and saw that I strengthened my shoulder. To this day, I never dislocated my shoulder again. Right. So I'm of the mindset that hopefully in my lifetime, I will never have surgery. However,
I agree.
2 or 3 years ago, and just like Dr. Pannozzo, this guy's another hero of mine, at my synagogue I happened to, I knew about this particular doctor, and one of the things that, having glasses since 5th grade, I had laser surgery on my eyes, and it gave me life. And that was the only surgery that I elected to have. And one day after the surgery, the doctor, and this Dr. Richard Cohn is just one of my heroes. So I'm reading the newspaper one day, and I didn't have the readers on. And I called him on his cell phone. I said, Doc, you're my hero. He said, why? Because you were right. I don't need glasses anymore, ever. Right. Goodbye. Unless it's, So that was the only surgery I've ever had. Hopefully only surgery I will ever have.
Yeah.
No, that's the kind of doctor you want to be.
Yeah.
That's the kind of I want to be, too. You just do the real good job for someone.
And by the way, the best thing is, so when will I see you again? He goes, well, probably for cataracts. Otherwise, have a good life.
Well, he's the same way. I never see the same people except me, Manx, and Freddy, but they get cured.
Well, listen, it's great to see Doc here today, but I hope I don't have to see him in his office.
No, but I mean, what people don't realize is, I always want to go back to this because we have always a lot of new listeners, a lot of people that see it. Dr. Pannozzo is a graduate of Ohio State University, which I think is in, 3rd place now in football? They beat Michigan.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, your team is doing good, buddy. And just an aside, know what Jim Harbaugh said when he lost? Well, the coaches weren't right for me. They were giving me calls that they shouldn't. No, not the coaches, I'm sorry, the referees.
Right.
They gave me things that, and you know what Spurrier said? He made believe he got a call. He picked it up and says, yes, honey, an interview. I will bring a quarter milk cup thing, but right now I'm at an interview. I mean, so he came from a school that cared, Ohio State. And when he talks about migraines, he studied this. This is all he does is musculoskeletal. And if you do that for 60 years now? 50-something years?
54.
Okay, you got to get it right. And he does. He does.
A lot of people don't. I mean, what you're hearing is not.
I've got Manx, I got Freddy, I got myself, I got Weir, I got half of iHeartMedia that go to you and they're happy.
I know, but if you go around me in my office and you'll see all these doctors that treat pain problems, you don't get these kind of results.
How about when chiropractors come to you? That's even more fun. I said, this guy, what do you do for a living? I'm a chiropractor.
Well, people don't know this, but when you have an annulus, a disc.
Let's not talk dirty, Doc. Okay.
They don't know how to diagnose that.
Yeah, you're right.
They don't.
But they don't know where the pain came from.
They don't know where the pain came from, so they can treat and treat and treat, and they're limited on what they can do. So when you have treatment by anybody, even my office, 2 or 3 times, and you're not getting anywhere, you got to leave there. Don't do it.
I have never seen anyone in 3 years with you come in for the same thing the second time.
Well, we're gradually bringing it down. That's a measure of success for me. When you bring the number of treatments down for a particular diagnosis, then you know you're doing well. So we used to treat lower backs for 3 weeks. Now it's 1 day.
That's amazing.
And we just had the Medicare people in there. Well, somebody that Medicare hired to see what I'm complaining about. I'm complaining I'm not getting paid is what I'm complaining about.
You're curing people, you're not getting paid. I mean, that's a great business, right?
And they're doing that to everybody, not just me.
Oh, I know. My friend's a doctor. He's having trouble with them, too.
So they come in there, and they want to see what I'm doing. I show them everything. And are they impressed, Max?
Absolutely.
Yeah. They interviewed 23
patients without any complaints.
23 patients, and
amazing.
No complaints at all.
You know what's an interesting testament to Dr. Pannozzo is the Israeli gentleman that I sent to him does business in other parts of the world, and we had chatted while he was in Thailand, and his back went out. He goes, God. I can't get
You have to do
I can't get the relief.
No, you got to do.
I wish there was a Dr. Pannozzo out here. So
the accent.
Yes. Thank you, Les. So kind of you. So, long story short is he could not get the relief, and when he came back, he saw Dr. Pannozzo again and got the relief he needed.
It's amazing. I mean, people out there are saying, well, my doctor told me to go to see this orthopedic surgeon. And and our culture especially, if you have a doctor, he's the best. There's no one better than him, and he told me to go see this guy.
Right.
But they don't understand. You go see this guy, but first, be smart. See Dr. Pannozzo who's going to look at you and say, yeah, I think you do need surgery because I can't fix it. He's going to say, I can have that done in 2 days.
The best suggestion, really, is if you've been told that you need to have surgery, then you need to take your films, whatever, and go see Dr. Pannozzo. Let him evaluate you because the bottom line is he cares.
Yeah, he does.
He's not some mill that's going to look at your chart and look at you for 2 minutes, not even remember your name 5 minutes later, and send you on your way to surgery. That's just not his MO at all.
He's Dr. Wellaby.
So, he's real. I mean, we're not talking TV or radio stuff here. We're talking reality, and I've seen it. When I've had to wait in his office, and I don't mind doing that because I know I'm going to get that relief. And I've seen patient after patient walk out feeling better than when they walked in. So there you go.
What you say is very funny. I told him about the groin thing. I came in and said, Doc, could you see me? He says, put your name on. I said, Doc, I know you. I'm your marketing guy. Put your name down. And they said he does that. I said he believes in first come, first serve, and he gets you. If you have to wait, because he's doing a diagnosis.
Right.
He doesn't bring into those 4 different rooms with people in x-rays. He reads the x-rays himself. He does it himself.
Yep.
Okay? And there's a reason for that. Tell him the reason. I mean, that's important. Why do you do that? Everyone says, why does he do that? Tell him why.
Why do I take them myself?
Yeah, why you do everything yourself? You answer the phone, you make your appointments?
Because I get the quality I want, and I can do my mental
Diagnosis,
gymnastics as I do it.
Right.
And I can change my techniques when I want it. I even make my own appointments, you know why?
Yeah.
Because if you have something simple I can do in 5 minutes, I'll say, come in.
Yeah.
Don't wait 3 weeks, just come in now, and we take care of it. I mean,
that is unbelievable.
I mean, come on, in all the years we're around, have you ever seen a doctor that does all
Well,
this?
it's funny because you asked me when I met you, does he still doesn't have reception? Second, no, he doesn't. But now you understand why.
Yeah.
No, I get it.
Well, they quit on me. You know, they just, I mean, I had somebody making love over my phones. And finally, they just dropped the key off. I never saw
Manx,
it.
I told you, don't call that thing during the week.
Listen, I want to change gears for a second because Max is sitting here. I want to know, during the week, you guys film for Channel 19, which is seen on Wednesday and Friday, 6 to 6:30. Anything spectacular happened this week? You got anything there, Ben?
I think there's two
Talk
of
into that.
Okay. There was one guy that came in with the purple shirt. That's the fish.
Purple shirt.
The purple shirt. The
He
Boom
worked
Boom
at the
Group.
Marriott, the bartender.
Yes.
And you had treated him in April for L34, and he was really bad. And you cured him of that, but he came in for L5S1. And
It's a
he
different
had
pain, in other words, what you're saying.
Yeah.
He had different symptoms.
Different,
So
totally
we had to
different thing.
diagnose him from scratch, right?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
but we didn't know this, that he told us that he had lost a kidney, but
Hope someone finds it because I need one.
no, but the biggest thing that we didn't know is that he had just gotten out of hospice. The other patient.
Wait a
told
second.
us.
How do you get out of
Oh,
hospice?
that's right. He told us he almost died.
He almost
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
So I mean, just the fact that he would still come in the first place, you know, after almost dying, I mean, to have his back fixed. I mean, and
Well,
got it
he's
fixed.
gotta live. He's got to get his
No,
own
I
back.
know, but
So-
he was
So
totally fixed.
how did he leave?
He
the
left.
office?
He left. He could do
Very
everything
much
that
alive.
He couldn't do.
Pain free.
As you can see, folks, this show is definitely not rehearsed.
He walked out in the waiting room and was telling everybody he's doing really good. I don't have any pain.
Yeah, he was pain free, and he could do everything that he couldn't do before he got in there. And then the other person that came in, I think that was there was a bass fisherman. He had a right elbow, and he had numbness in his fingers, and you got rid of that, except you went around the other way on the elbow. But then you also got with the same guy a neck problem. He had a really bad neck problem, and he couldn't. And he also.
It's bad when you can't read your own notes.
Oh, I know, but I got so much written down.
Were you
A
there?
shoulder. Yeah, I was.
You filmed all this, didn't you?
This show is being brought to you by the manufacturers of memory.
But he also had an amazing shoulder result as well, besides those things. But
One of the best things was the hairdresser. I was talking to her husband. She can only make money when she's on her feet. And she said she has spent a fortune with migraine headaches. Nothing. And I'm sitting there, I'm talking to her husband. She came out, because she went in with a migraine. She came out and she looked at her husband and said, honey, I have no pain. And I said, really? He said, I have absolutely no pain. First time I can remember. I said, walk around to it. And she was walking around, and I think Manx had just put her on film. And I looked, and I said, this is freaking amazing. How could somebody get rid of pain that fast? And she never came back.
Sorry, I missed that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Siri. I have a personal relationship with Siri, and she missed that. Okay.
No, the best story I had, we have parents. The best story I had was you had a husband and wife, and you had them in the room, and you took care of her hip, and the husband's he's losing a lot of money because he's been paying for all these doctors.
Yeah.
To take her to all these doctors, and he says to her, "Well, how do you feel?" And she's limp, and she says, "Well, it hasn't taken effect." And then 5 minutes later, and she's walking straight, and I'm watching this whole thing in front of me. Well, I don't know. And he says, "What do you mean you don't know? You're walking straight. What do you mean you don't know?" She goes, "I don't know. There's some pain." So I said to her, "Listen, why don't you buy her a purse?" I'm feeling better.
I remember that.
You remember?
Yes, I do.
I'm feeling
Remember
better.
the one with the purse? The guy with the purse?
The purse. He says, because he was holding her purse. And as soon as he says, "I'm going to buy you a purse," she got 100% better.
I'll tell you a story that I remember. There was this lady who didn't want to get cured. She didn't believe it, and she came in with. I think you filmed it. You probably remember this lady. It was an Asian woman, and as he gave the shot, she said she couldn't even come. The arm was going up like this, and she says, "Well, I thought I could." Oh, yeah. She went all the way up, and she said, "Oh, Doc, when can I see you again?"
That's true.
I know. I remember that story like it was yesterday.
That is such a great technique, and I developed this out of my head.
Amazing.
I use a fluoroscope, and you can actually see where the scar tissue is. Now, you can't see scar tissue on an X-ray. I mean,
on an MRI, no.
But you see the effect of it. So that's what I'm talking about. So I just use that fluoroscope and see the effect. I mark it with my little X, go in there, put a shot in there, and in 2 minutes you're up.
All I can tell you, folks, you got four people sitting here.
I'm figuring these things out. I mean, you can't get that done anywhere.
Should I tell you why you're figuring it out? Because that's all you do.
Yeah, that's
it's musculoskeletal, and the advances that you've made in scoliosis. You could go to. Freddy has all the sites in his brain. Where can they go to see the actual X-rays that we've done, all of us as a team?
On his website, you gotta look at the films. He has over 300 films in there. Sorry, I may start taking some of those out, Doc, to make it easier.
Now that's a special deal. I hate to give my X-rays out, and the reason is you have to understand how they were done. That's a picture. You know, in a picture, you could do anything you want with a camera. It's the same thing with an X-ray. You have to know how it was done, why it was done, and what you have to read out of it. And that's all a unique read. This is a patented system. And so if you wanted to have my X-rays, okay, go ahead. David, they don't help you because you have to understand what it is.
Well, how about that elderly lady from England?
Scoliosis.
Yeah, this was a woman that went to the most prestigious hospital in England.
Actually, she worked there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was the biggest one in London. That's where she worked.
And
she was
I didn't know that. She wanted to
social worker.
Freddie has pictures of her when she walked in, and she's straight up. Freddie and I walked in one day, and she said, "You know, say hello to her." And Freddie and I looked at her and said, "Oh my God." She had makeup on. She was wearing a nice dress, and she said, "This is like God."
New lease on life.
Yeah,
and it's funny because she had this bra that was oversized because she had this huge, thing on her back, and her husband, he says, and he shows me the bra. He says she doesn't need this anymore. I said, "Can she sign it for me?" I'd like to put it.
You're into that, huh, Freddie?
Hey, I like signed bras. I can tell you.
David, I know him for 17 years. I don't know how long you know, but he was into a lot of kinky stuff, Freddie.
Hey, listen, Dave, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to share a story. My left knee, when I was 21, they wanted to cut me open. And I said no.
That's tough. You're like him. You're smart.
I quit for 18 years. And when I went to see him, my hip is the same thing that you have, one side lower than the other. And I've always had back pain. And I've done, you name a baseball player, he always had a tape for that lower back pain. Never worked. And I played most of my career with pain, and now my body is a museum to this pain because it just keeps going. So I think that the most important aspect of you sitting here and these people calling in and saying nice stories about Dr. Pannozzo is that he lets you carry on. He let you, and you move it forward and you bring somebody in, and the life changes.
Oh, yeah.
It's an amazing deal that you see it, and we get to film it.
And your personality changes, Freddie, because no one wants to be in pain.
What's maybe the greatest gift that he gave to me is, what if I had surgery and then had the scar tissue and then I couldn't play basketball, and it's something that I'm passionate about.
You're passionate about it and you love it.
And it's part of, people say, well, how do you manage your stress? And basketball is, whether I'm going to Heat games, which I'll be going Tuesday night, or or playing or coaching my kids back in the day, it's just part of the passion I have. So if you take that away, really this guy gave me my life back, because I'm thinking, as this happened to me, like, oh my God, it's my knee. Am I done? And you think of like some of the professional athletes when they're dealing with, let's say, a Chris Bosh, and he's got these blood clots, and and at such a high level, and maybe his career, which it probably is over. I'm fortunate. I'm really blessed that I have my health, and I'm pain free, and it's really thanks to Dr. Pannozzo.
And it's amazing. I did some work with Lawrence Taylor, and he told me he saw Pannozzo's tapes. He says this guy could have added 7 years to my career.
Well, what about Cleveland Gary?
Yep, he offered me. He said, how did that go? He had a back pain, huh? He had a back pain.
He had a lot of pain. He was walking in with crutches.
Yeah, and we took care of him. It was 1 day, 2 shots, and
he said to you,
and he
if
said,
I would have had you
one more year,
I would have bought you a Ferrari.
That's right. He offered me a Ferrari. But he quit.
Well, Troy Stratford.
He quit Troy Stratford also.
Yeah, Troy Stratford. That thinks the world of you.
Well, you also have Cheevers from the...
Cheevers, oh.
Jerry Cheevers' daughter works for Lou, and she was in studio the other day. I said, how's your dad doing? Now, he hit him with 8 shots, Dave, in 1 day.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shoulders, hips, and the back of the knees. And Cheevers was in bad shape. He was going to get surgery. So I said, you ever have the surgery? She don't need it.
Well, I remember back in the day, he was treating... You know, I don't play golf or tennis, and for those guys, if your swing is just slightly off, you can't play.
I know.
So he was treating, I remember Bob Toski and a bunch of tennis and golf players back in the day.
Oh, you guys go back a while then.
Oh, we go back.
That's great.
We go back. Way back.
Way back.
And I say to all you golfers who are coming down to South Florida, you can stay at Boca, you call up Dr.
Or
Pannozzo, Del Rey. Or you go to Pumpernicks, or you have to stop there anymore, and you're having problems.
Dating yourself less.
I am. I'm an old guy.
Yeah.
And you're going to play golf, and you're having problems. Let me just say one thing. As a golfer, I'm not that great, but I enjoy it. And if I couldn't play golf, it would really make me feel like life is really not that much fun. And I love to lift weights because I enjoy it. Keeps my head clear. This man has given people their lives back so many times. I've actually seen when someone couldn't afford it, he did it for free. And he guarantees his work. You tell me any doctor anywhere that guarantees you. I sent a girl in who he got a shot. It didn't work. She came in 5 more times until he found where it was and never charged her one time. She looked at me and said,
he treated my son, and he said to my son, what do you do? He goes, I'm a student. I'm studying, and he goes, all right, well, I'm not charging you for your visit since you're a student.
Well, I'm going to give you a better one. My son came in because he had lower back pain, and he never told me about this. And I said, really, let's go see Dr. Pannozzo. No shot. He took care of it a different way. So
with the thumb?
No.
I told him, keep your thumbs to yourself. No.
Keep your thumbs to yourself, don't touch my kid.
He actually gave him a lift because he has the same thing I have. And I ask him all the time, how you feel? He says, I feel pretty good. And it's funny because a lot of people, when you have pain for a number of months or years, you only know how to live that way. Mm-hmm. So you're afraid to say, pain's gone. Hey, doc. And meanwhile, they're touching, like the guy that was screaming in your office. This guy was screaming at the top of his
Freddie,
lungs.
what do people have to lose by going to see him?
Thank you. I've been saying that now
you know
for
what
the
they got
last
to
3
lose?
years.
You know what they got to lose?
Their pain.
That's one. You know what else? That they were wrong.
Yeah.
Make your second opinion
Yeah.
your first, Freddie.
Some people are just so stubborn, it's ridiculous.
Well,
a lot of time.
And think about this: if you have pain for 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, whatever,
You shouldn't have.
and you go see this guy and he takes care of it in an instant, don't you feel kind of
Stupid?
I don't want to say stupid,
You
but
should.
don't you feel kind of what's wrong with me?
We had a golfer that came into him and said he waited a year. He heard it on, he listened to ZZR all the time with Leah talking about what he does. He finally said, the pain is, I'm going. Saw him on a Monday because I went to take him for lunch on Tuesday. Came back and I said, what happened? He said, I just got to thank this guy. I have a friend, my brother-in-law's friend that came in. He was so messed up. He got 2 days because he had scar tissue in it. And
Unbelievable.
And he plays golf now. I said, so if you're having trouble with your golf game, don't buy another $600 driver. Come to see Dr. Pannozzo. You let us know he's coming down.
I wish Tiger would give us a crack
He's
at him.
coming back.
He played very well.
He is not playing well. He's tiring out at the end.
Oh,
that's stamina still. He's still not in shape.
Yeah.
He's still, scar tissue. He's never going to be in shape. You got to take care of the scar tissue.
You know, Dave, it's really funny because a lot of people that go on to do like coaching and see activities in sports, you know, I used to tell my kids, I coached for 21 years, and I used to tell my kids, if you can figure out how to win the game at the plate, then do it. Which means if I tell you to swing away, swing away. If I tell you not to, it's okay. If you do and you have a different idea, squeeze home a run, all this stuff. And that's what Pannozzo does to this game. He changes the view of how to get towards the pain. The psychological aspect comes with it. Your career, your life, everything will change. Your marriage will change.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you ever try to be with your old lady in pain? It don't work too well.
Because everything everything, especially a Jewish lady, everything she says, you fire up and get mad because the pain is making you say that.
It hurts. Yeah, you can't live in
We
pain.
saved a lot of marriages. You're absolutely right.
I mean, now we're going to be talking to the drug counseling. So I see all these signs on the highway. Number one, and you saw the sign,
right?
In the world, in the country, drugs, heroin here.
There's a lot of
Outrageous.
places.
And
along with that,
if you hear this, folks, go ahead.
There's an article on pain psychologists. And they teach you, I don't know
They teach
what
you
in
not
the
to
world
have
they
pain.
teach you. They teach you to put up with what you got. I mean, why do that? That's craziness. You want to get rid of it. You don't want to treat anything. You don't want drugs either. There's a lot of narcotics going out there, and
that's
you
what
don't
pain-
need narcotics for musculoskeletal pain. It's contraindicated.
Aspirin.
Aspirin's your best drug, and then the steroids after that. But you don't need anything OxyContin. All they're doing is making you an addict. Don't do it, people. Don't do it. You don't need it.
And the first thing they give you is drugs when you get off of surgery.
Yeah, they offer it to you in the hospital. You don't want? I just I don't want it.
When I had my teeth done, the guy said, "I'm going to give you a prescription for OxyContin." I said, "Keep it. I'm going to take aspirin."
That's right.
I took 4 aspirin. I swallowed them down. I had no pain. I woke up the next morning. I took 2, and it was
Now
gone.
we're fighting the trends of people, And
That's
we
right.
were saying this when the Florida was a mill. You come down here from Kentucky and buy 1,000 pills. That's gone, but still, these people are there. The rehabs are there. And,
Stay away from acupuncture, magnets, rocks. Have you had the hot rocks they put them on your back and you get better? You have two little burns on your back.
I do like a hot stone massage.
Yeah, so
somebody came in.
Go to chiropractor.
I'm gonna put a hot rock in your pants. Listen, the bottom line is don't stay away.
Thanks,
from,
Freddy, but no thanks.
There you go. Don't stay away from nothing. Just come on down. Take a look. That's
and
all
when
I
you
ask.
come down, I will personally get you a
I mean,
room.
you do that because the people are afraid of you.
I don't
I'm
know.
Just saying.
I'll have you do it. No, they see you, they're gonna be afraid.
They're afraid of me, or they're afraid of the cameras, or whatever.
Mafia
I'm
man.
just saying, come on down, take a look, and try. Because the worst thing that can happen is you're gonna leave the way you came. What difference does that make?
The worst thing that could happen to you is you get better.
That's it.
Is that the worst thing that can happen? I mean, so you'd rather? To me, when I hear operations for a knee operation, that was like $90,000.
Could be more than that.
The concussion is going our way, though.
Yes, we didn't even get the chance to talk about that. We got 2 minutes left.
Go ahead, Doc. You got 2 minutes. Talk about concussions fast.
Well, they're from the neck. And it had nothing to do with the brain.
They're finding it out
Yet
now.
the NFL has allocated $1 billion.
I told you that last week.
Yeah,
I
it's
signed up. If you had a concussion, you were the NFL, you are open to the money. So I signed up to see what would happen.
Why not?
Why not? They tell me, oh, congratulations.
Oh, I did too, by the way. Is that what that was for? I thought it was for pills to make you better. Okay, folks, I want to thank our guest, David. I want to thank Manx, who came in to talk to us. Freddie, the Doc, Carol, have a great Sunday. And if you're in pain now as you're trying to get the grill lit, call 561-381-5800. And do me a favor, don't call him for at least 20 minutes till I take him to lunch, because he's going to pick up his phone. I can't have anything happen to him. Folks, again, thank you guys for joining us.
And don't bring your MRIs.
And don't bring your MRIs.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for coming down.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I mean, that was a great.
This has been the Dr. Pannozzo Sports and Medicine Hour with Dr. Anthony Pannozzo. If you spend 5 minutes with Dr. Pannozzo, you'll see he genuinely enjoys helping others.
Visit Dr. Pannozzo online at www.paincentersnationwide.com or call him at 561-381-5800. Dr. Pannozzo will consult with you to determine the best solution to your pain needs. 561-381-5800 is the number to call, even if it's just for a second opinion. Join Dr. Pannozzo next week when he brings you more important information on the physics of weight-bearing and engineer concepts for the body.
1230 WBZT West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
I can almost see it, that dream I'm dreaming.